Street Fighter V Speculation. Oh, not this again. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Born Free here. I have a whiteboard, which means we are serious. I know it's a little bit like technologically savvy, but you know, that's the way I roll. So basically, if you haven't already subscribed yet, please subscribe. I want to get to like past 1,500. I want to get 2,000. I want this channel to be amazing. I want to get access to people, players, tournaments, places, exclusives, all those things that you know I like to try and bring you guys. Anyway, we're going to talk about Street Fighter V cast, and we're going to speculate. So if you don't like speculation videos, don't worry, skip this. But I do. I think it's fun, and I love to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys in the comments for sure, because I'm sure you have all your own ideas, and I want to hear them, and I want to talk to you about them, as I've done in the past. So, anyway, let's talk about this first 16, this idea of the first 16, right? I think the first 16 is kind of a mirage. I don't think it's fixed at all. I spoke to Matt Moylan from Udon, who said to me, like, these things change at the very last minute, which is probably very true. But there's also another reason, which I'm going to get into, which is really the big reveal in this video, is that the thing that I want to talk about the most. But the first 16, so we've got Ryu, Chun, Cammy, and Ken. No big surprise there. They're part of what I call the Core 4. I actually have Core 5. The fifth one is Akuma. So in here, what I have is 16 playable characters, and then I have 3 boss characters. Akuma in Ultra Street Fighter 4 was an unplayable boss character initially. I don't know if they did that out of respect, or if they just needed like a secret boss character, or what. I have no idea. But it's interesting. And then it'll become DLC in my mind. Like, there's no Street Fighter game without Akuma. But I think there's probably 2 or 3 unplayable bosses. That's just based on some of the leak lists and rumors. But it kind of makes sense. And then we've got Vega and Bison. We've got Nash, and we've got Birdie, and we've got Nikali. Birdie and Nikali being big favourites of mine. Actually, Ken was a lot of fun to play. So we're left with 3 that we don't know about. Unknown new characters. Can't speculate about that. I really can't. I have no idea. And then we have 4 left over. Now, if we had to follow like everybody's like thought process on this, and I mean like a lot of people, then you're going to have Urien, which makes total sense, because guess what? Nash has that stone in his head, and also there was the recent first ever Street Fighter V Udon comic, which they worked with Capcom on. Go see my interview with Matt Moylan on that. So I think either Urien or Gil. The reason I put Urien here is because I think Gil is going to be a boss, unplayable initially, up here. The next one is Alex. This is not new news. This is what people think. I'm just going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about what I think. So Alex has been teased, forever. In Street Fighter Cross Tekken, in Ultra Street Fighter 4, in billboards in the background. There's a video that I made about statues, about some changes they made, cosmetic changes they made to his costume, Capcom that is. Which didn't make any sense unless he was actually going to be in a new game. So yeah, there's Alex, and then there's Armika. So some people love her, which is cool. I don't know a huge amount about Armika. I've never been a huge fan, but it's something that's been coming up a lot. And then the other one is Karin, or Karin. I actually don't know how to pronounce her name properly. I apologize for that. She's a rushdown character, which suits the style of the game. She's the kind of a wrecker character. She's very, very interesting in my mind. I'm excited at the prospect of her being in the game. I know some people don't like her, but I do. She was top of the polls or whatever. So that would be the 4: Urien, Alex, Karin, Armika, and Gil as a unplayable boss, and then maybe there'll be a 3rd unplayable boss, right? And then there's 3 we don't know, and there's Nikali. Now, I think there's a couple of things going on with the top 16, and this is why I call it a bit of a mirage. And that is, I think that what's really going on at Capcom, and I think this makes business sense, is that business and marketing sense, is that there's actually 32 characters being developed simultaneously, at the same time. The reason being for that, like, if I hired a company, a team to work on something, and they were all working together towards one goal, I would expect them and want them to produce way more characters than just the initial release. It makes business sense, it makes marketing sense, it means that you pay that external group, I forget their name that they're working with, a certain amount of money contractually for a certain amount of time, so you don't have to keep bringing them back in, bringing them back in, bringing them back in. It's one team working on one game, which is awesome. So all these characters should fit in great. And I think this is like they'll develop these characters, and depending on how depending on how these characters progress, they will or will not include them in here. And then I also think they're doing a big fuck you to anybody who has a leaked list. So they're like, oh yeah, really? You think that's going to be in the first 16? Well, fuck you. We're going to put in Vega. How about that? Or whatever, right? Any character. I think they have 16. I think they have 32 characters that they're working on simultaneously. And I also think that there's story mode, which is huge this time. So there's not just going to be 16 characters in story mode. Surely there's going to be like closer to 32 in story mode. I just think that's the way it's going to be. So I think they're working on these characters as well. And at any moment, at the last minute, before a big announcement, they can just pick a character that's progressed the most and the best, and just throw them into the first 16. And also, like, they have to leave characters that will make you hungry for DLC, right? So there's a possibility they will leave out characters for DLC. I mean, maybe they will say, like, okay, they'll swap out Alex for somebody else. Let's say Guile, I don't know. And then they just say, hey, here's the game. I believe the game is free to play initially, like Killer Instinct, and then you have to buy the pack. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I was at the panel, but I wasn't paying close attention at that time, or my memory sucks. I don't know. I would say that on release, what you need to release a game, but then you need to keep teasing people. You need to keep teasing people with characters that you think are going to be popular. So it could be that a portion of these 4 are actually held back as like, hey, look what you can get going forwards. I think Guile is going to be in there. I think Sakura is going to be in there if Karen. Sorry, I know I'm not saying her name properly. Karen is in there as well. I would love for Oro to be in there. If you haven't seen my Oro video, check it out. The amount of like positivity behind that video was incredible, and the message to Capcom, like, the amount of positivity behind that video was incredible. So Oro would be awesome. And we can guess the rest. I think there's some misinformation being thrown out at the moment by Capcom. There's kind of like a tweet that was, I don't know if it's fake or not, but there was like a tweet which apparently Ono tweeted for like 5 minutes and then took down, which was like which was a over pixelated version of Dudley, and he was like, do you know who this is? And then he took it down, but it might just be fake, I'm not sure. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, UK Capcom, I believe, or it might be Street Fighter, I can't remember, one of the Twitter handles was like, here's a picture of Ingrid. Do you think Ingrid's going to be in Street Fighter 5? Only time will tell. Actually, Ingrid kind of makes sense in the story mode, because maybe she has the power of time and space, and so she can bring Mikali, the Aztec warrior, back. And that theory on event hubs by the guy who I can't remember his name, I really liked it. The idea of like, going all the way back in time to trace back Satsu no Hado, and maybe Mikali was the beginning of that, and the story is about trying to stop him from spreading that across the globe, and blah 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 blah. So that's it guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say I think they're developing 32 characters at the same time, and that whatever you guess is going to come in the next 16 probably won't. But we'll see, I guess. So anyway, thoughts in the comment box, please. And thank you for your continued support. I love it, and I love you guys. I love conversing with you guys on this stuff as well. Okay, peace out.